House music, R&B, hip hop, pop,
I still get you.
reggae, EDM, indie, old school,
Side. Check it.
and sports talk.
Right here.
StarHitRadio.com.
When I'm walking past the mirror. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Dish on Reality with
Tanya
and Trina. You wasn't ready. So.
I know I'm trying to get my Facebook Live up.
Okay, well anyway, thank you all so much for joining us this evening, and we actually are going to start off on kind of a sad note. It is a sad note. Mr. Alton Sterling was shot, I think early this morning or last night
by the police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So sad. The video is heartbreaking.
Yeah, I personally, I didn't watch the video because I don't like to see things like that.
She won't be able to handle that.
I wouldn't be able to handle it. But and just to warn you, I think we do have the video.
We do.
So, okay.
So we're about to show y'all the video real quick.
Yeah. So if you're kind of squeamish and don't like to look at things like that, you may not want to look at it. But we do have the video of it, and unfortunately, like we said, it's a sad situation, and our prayers go out to him and his family.
We are getting a new look at the video showing a deadly officer-involved shooting in Louisiana. We must warn you, the sight and the sound are graphic. Well, the FBI has opened a civil rights investigation into the death of 37-year-old Alton Sterling. This cell phone video, this is another one, appears to show Sterling and two officers fighting outside of a store. Again, this is graphic video. We know Sterling was armed as things escalated when he was killed.
And everything that was possible to be shown. As some may know, Alton sold CDs and was doing just that, not bothering anyone, and had the consent of the store owners as well. And then the event that recorded during the two officers. Now, if we could reflect on the measure of a man, it should not be judged on his past, but most scientific marks that a man left his life and what he left on. As this video has been shared across the world, you will see with your own eyes how he was handled unjustly and killed without regard for the lives that he helped raise.
That was Quinetta McMillan. She is the mother of Alton Sterling's oldest son. Again, we're getting a new video showing the deadly officer shooting in Louisiana, and we must warn you again, the sights are graphic, the video is disturbing. Earlier, the governor of Louisiana said he found the videos, quote, disturbing.
I will say that based on the information that I have obtained from law enforcement, but certainly the footage that I observed of the video that was made available, I have very serious concerns. The video is disturbing, to say the least. This incident is going to be investigated impartially, professionally, and thoroughly by the United States Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. And hopefully, when the community understands that, the tensions will ease, and we will continue to press for calm and for patience. And that's what I'm asking for right now.
So it's really unfortunate. So we'll keep him and his family in prayer. Okay, so on another news story note.
So, okay, I don't know. I can't even. Okay, I'm sorry, but that kind of gets to me.
It does, and that's why I want to just lighten it up a little bit, because that's.
So on a lighter note, we do have some other news in the relativity section about the guy who found money in his cab, the cab driver in Boston. He actually had dropped the passenger off, and then when he looked in his back seat, he saw a book bag. The book bag had almost $200,000 in it. The cab driver, he was an honest person, so he actually took it to the police. And he turned it in. So, and actually the person who left the money, he was actually calling the police to report his money missing. So,
which means he don't remember where he left it.
Well, yeah, or either he was trying to track down that cab. But he was able to get his money back because they say he was able to prove that it was his. I don't know how you can prove cash is yours, but I guess maybe the cab driver did remember him and say, hey, that is him, that's his money. But I just think that's
did he
a
offer
very
the cab driver any reward money?
He did. They didn't say how much.
$50?
No, I don't know. They didn't say, but
he don't gave him $50. Thank you for returning my $200,000. Here you go $50.
Well, hopefully he gave him. He gave it at least $1,000. I mean, at the very least. I mean, because first of all, I want to know how you forget you got $200,000.
Maybe there's a lot more where that came from for you to forget, because if I got $2,000 in my purse, it's gonna be, duct tape to me.
Oh, I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna be like this on it. I'm gonna be like this the whole time. But why are you in the cab? Why?
Not a limo.
Yeah. But
he's frugal. That's why he got $200,000.
Oh Jesus! But
I know.
Hopefully he'll keep it.
Like I was telling my sister, I just saw an episode of Good Times when James
found the money.
$27,000, and this is back in 1974. So I looked up and compared it. Inflation today, that $27,000 would be $136,000.
What?
James, listen. Y'all would have been struggling. It would have changed the whole dynamic of the show.
It would have really been good times. If he would have kept that money, but hey.
You could have a great time if you kept that money. Anyway.
Oh, gosh. You are a mess. Oh, Jesus. So, what else you got?
Well, a lot of people celebrated 4th of July. And this is kind of some corny news, but hey, why not? Because a lot of people actually do like Taylor Swift. So they show her new boob with her at her beach house in Rhode Island on the beach, and he had his little temporary tattoo on, and he had a little shirt.
She already got a tattoo of her name or something?
It was temporary. So he had on this shirt that says, I love TS.
You know that relationship.
Corny.
It's staged and it's going to be over quick.
She has no hope in real love.
No, whatever. There's nothing real about that. Getting tattooed. Anytime you put a person's name on you, it's over like a month later. I mean, how many people you know got people's names tattooed on them and they still with them?
Well, I know one right now. He got this girl name tattooed on his chest, and
they not together.
She was a cheater and I ain't even together no more. And I'm like, how you gonna explain that to the next chick?
I know, see.
You rubbing out on his chest and over somebody? No, hell no. You can't be my man. I'm just saying, don't do permanent stuff like that.
No. It did a t-shirt with, really?
I know, it's cute.
How much she paying him?
She can't get a boyfriend without paying for him?
I'm just saying, though. That's just too much.
You talking about Taylor Swift, not Kenya Moore.
You know? Ooh, that's shade. And you know Kenya kind of cuckoo, so hey.
Listen. But the pay ones don't even stay, so that's why I know she's crazy.
God.
No, I'm just joking. Kenya, shout out to Kenya Moore. Listen, I appreciate you and your hustle, but
you got to get a new one for the new house, the new episodes this year. We're tired of you and a man. You and your man dramas. Find a new storyline, girl.
We're going to wrap it up real quick. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about relationships. We have a special guest with us today, and we're going to talk about finances. Now, let me just say this. Miss Wanda White-Smith, she is the bomb. She is my friend. She knows her stuff. She got her portfolio intact. Do you? Okay.
Yeah, if you got questions, call the number on the screen, and she will be able to answer. I may be able to answer some. You know, I'm a little financial savvy.
She was a tell at the bank. She don't remember.
You know what?
We'll be right back with the Dish on Reality with Tanya
and Trina.
Ching ching. Are those sounds you like to hear coming into your wallet and your household? Well, then I suggest you go and purchase my phenomenal book. Green is the Thing. I'm telling you, this book is packed and filled with information on how to make, save, and manage your money effectively. To go out and purchase my book, you can go online to smashwords.com, amazon.com, and barnesandnoble.com. Thank you.
Yo, what's going on? This is your boy Tobias Trevelyan from Empire. I'm on the Dish on Reality with Tanya and Trina. If you didn't know, now you know.
Let's see.
Hey guys, we are back with the Dish on Reality with Tanya
and Trina.
And guess what? We got my girl Wanda White-Smith in here with us today.
Yay!
She is a finance guru. She is a VP at a financial institution and a branch manager. She is thebomb.com. Listen, we got some questions for you, Wanda, about relationships and finance.
Relationships and finance?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't prepare me for that. Tell you.
People don't like to mix them, but they go
don't.
together. So.
They definitely go together.
Because if your finances ain't right, guess what your relationship
Your
ain't?
relationship is not going to be right. Especially if you didn't tell the truth in the beginning.
And you know you can't get gum on credit. And you know stuff you're talking about, baby.
You definitely cannot. You definitely cannot.
Well, I want to ask a question about in a relationship before you even say get married or you're engaged or whatever. At what point do you think it's a good idea to talk about finances? If you're just dating or you think this is the one or serious, what's a good time you think you should talk about it?
I think in the beginning.
Like at dinner, who's going to get this check?
Right. Right. Look, baby, we're driving the car. Just want to let you know I have no money. Hey, look, what you mean you don't have no money? You work at the bank. I thought you had all the money. No, I don't have no money at all. But on a serious tip, we do such a good job in some cases, and in some cases we don't do a good job when we meet someone. Especially women. Women, we want to fake the phone. It's like we want to have a new outfit on.
Oh, yeah.
The man looking at us like they got it going on. We riding good, looking good, got our credit card and everything, but at the end of the day, we broke. We so broke, it don't make no sense.
I know, right?
And we hoping he got some money so he can help us pay for
We're going to need you to offset us not having no money, okay?
Isn't that true? But if I can share a personal story.
Okay.
So I love my hubby. Can I talk about my hubby?
Yes, her new hubby.
My new hubby, that's right. We celebrated our year in May 31st, and so I love him. But we are that couple that in the beginning, we were very honest with each other.
I love it.
My husband is an entrepreneur. He has his own business. He's had his own business for about over 18 years. But like anybody, the business struggles. You have your good times and you have your bad times. And what I can respect about my husband, he was so honest with me and say, hey, look, this is what you get. What you see is what you get.
I love it.
And I shared with him, this is what you get. You know, this is what's going on with me. We sat down. We knew that we wanted to be together. We knew we were going to get married. And we did not fake the funk with finances. I was very upfront with him. He was upfront with me. We started talking about goals. We started setting goals. We knew we were going to get married. And at the end of the day, if you ask me, what's our struggle? Money is not our struggle, and I smile about that. You know, if he's driving somewhere, he's gonna kill me. But air conditioning is our issue. I had to have the air conditioner on at the house on 70, and he don't want to have the air conditioner on 70. But when I tell you that we do not have issues when it comes to finance because we were so upfront and honest.
And that's how it should be, because that's like you said, a lot of people, they're not honest. You know, a lot of times people, they put on that facade.
Exactly.
You know, and a lot of women too, I blame them a lot of times when they get in situations because they're only looking at the man like, oh, he drive a nice car. He got nice shoes. Oh, he got a nice apartment.
Right. But he live with his mama.
But
or he has no money saved.
He has no money.
Know, so,
and don't you hate the man that say, no, my mama really live with me.
Yeah.
Let me see the deed to your house.
Right. No, exactly. Right. Yeah, I live with my mama. My mama live with me.
Now let me say this. One of the issues I've had in a previous relationship, this is many, many years ago, if a bill comes, like a light bill or a gas bill, they only want to pay half. Why not just pay the whole bill? See, stuff like that irritate me.
Right.
I'm like, just pay the bill.
But you know what? In the beginning, if you would have sat down and you really would have talked about it up front, it wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah, you won't
have that's why we're together now.
You would definitely
I got
know
a good husband now.
Exactly who's gonna do what. You know, this is how it's gonna be. We're gonna have this much money for this. We're gonna have this much money for entertainment. Baby, you take care of entertainment. I'm gonna take care of everything in the house. I believe that it's no right, no wrong. The wrong comes in when you do not sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody is going to be different. And sometimes with us as women, we look at our girlfriend, Betty over here, or Sue over here, because they living like this. And so they feel like that this is something that we should do. But at the end of the day, the shoe does not fit everybody.
Yeah.
You got different types of shoes.
You really don't know what's going on with in everybody's household.
That's right. That's right. So that means it may be that you have to pay the mortgage, and you may have to pay the utilities, or you pay everything, and then you as the woman take care of the entertainment. It doesn't matter as long as you have the conversation. You cannot have the conversation at the end. Once you done said I do, you done jumped over the broom, and here it is 90 days later, and y'all looking at each other like, okay, now who gonna pay the stale gas bill?
You know you make more than me, so you should be paying.
Like, no. We need to have this conversation up front. You need to have a plan. You need to set goals.
One of the things with me that I will say that's been an issue, and I used to be so bad with this, in budgeting. I may say, okay, well, I make this much, I can afford this, but I don't count how much I like to eat out, how much I like to go to a movie or whatever. See, I don't put that in the budget, and that's how you get in trouble.
Can I tell you something? Please. If you really be honest with yourself, we spend more money grocery store, going out, vacationing. If you add it up, most of the time, sometimes it's over than the bills that we need to pay in the household. So why wouldn't you add that to your budget?
I don't know. I just have a problem with the word budget.
I know. But you know what? We have to get away from that, especially when you have kids. Because not only should they be on a budget, we need to be on the budget. Everybody need to be on the budget.
That's true.
They do. But you know what? My problem is one of the things that I absolutely love to do. I go grocery shopping. There's a joke that my sister has about me. Every time she calls me, I'm at the store.
Yeah, she is. Every time she's at the grocery store, the drug store, any store.
I'm like, where are you? Just at the store.
She at the store.
But I love to, like, when I go grocery shopping, because I love to cook, I don't like a budget when it comes to grocery shopping. So the other day I was going to grocery shopping. My husband said, you know your budget? I was like, yeah. I went over it a little bit. But I hate saying the word budget and food shopping together.
See, and I'll be honest with you, my husband gets so mad with me because when I go grocery shopping, I just pick stuff up. I'm like, we gotta eat, so I'm just putting it in there. He's like, you don't calculate. I'm like, no, I know we got the money. So.
Right. But at the end of the day, you think about how much money can you really save. So in the month of January, my husband and I went to this. We went through like. What's going on? Like, why am I spending so much money? I'm a Publix girl. I love Publix.
Sweet potato pie.
I'm going to the Publix. But he's like, Wanda, baby, look at the checking account. Look at the book. We spending almost $1,000 on groceries. And so when you really put a budget in place, what happens is that you know that you're only going to spend so much money that month. And guess what? If you went over, then you got to start sacrificing. You got to really start looking in the cabinet saying, I don't want to cook this, but I got this rice. I have all these things. Why go and buy something? I need to eat this so I can stay within it. This is what I challenge everybody. I challenge everybody to put themselves on a budget.
Okay.
Do it for 30 days. So this is how you have to do it. First, you have to go back and see, what did I spend for the month of June? How much did I spend in June? Here it is, July. You may not be able to start it in July, but start it actually in August and say to yourself, I want to spend, I want to save. Let's just say that. I want to save 30% of what I spend.
I think we got a caller. Hold on one second, caller. Uh-oh. Okay, so whatever we spent the previous month, add that up, and if that's a good number, work with it. If not, cut it.
Nothing is a good number. You need to cut it.
You need to cut it.
I don't even know that song.
I
heard it on the radio.
Yes, I know.
You definitely need to cut
looking
it.
for something.
Oh, for the call in.
For the call in.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, I see it. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we got a question from our caller. Uh-oh. Caller, can you hear us? It's the Dish on Reality with Tanya and Trina, and our special guest, Miss Wanda White-Smith.
Hi, I'm actually calling. My name is Keisha, and I'm calling because I want to ask Miss Wanda a financial question. Earlier today, I was having a conversation with Miss Laura, who was very good to me, and one thing that she was asking me was something that I could tell myself 10 years earlier on how I can better my financial situation. So I wanted to ask Miss Wanda, in her situation, what would she tell herself 10 years earlier?
So now ask the question again. I didn't
hear
the
you
call.
said what would you...
So from a financial aspect, what is something that you would tell yourself 10 years younger that you could do better to put yourself in a better position, or that you didn't know then that you know now?
Cut the credit card. Cut the credit card. If you don't have it, don't buy it. And you know what? I can actually smile with that because I don't do credit cards. I really don't own one. My husband, he has given me like that emergency card.
Okay.
And you have to ask yourself, what's really an emergency?
Yeah.
My emergency is not the same thing as my husband's emergency. You know, the emergency for me is that I got this ball to go to. I got things going on. So I need this nice dress, and I'm going to pay it back, baby. But at the end of the day, that's really not an emergency. The emergency is when the air condition goes bad. The emergency is when your car breaks down, and you really need to use it for that. So, caller, I appreciate the question. And so when you ask me, and I kind of repeat that, on what could I've done like 10 years, and I wouldn't want to say 10 years because I'm over 45. So I would say about, let's say 15, 20 years ago, it was definitely no credit cards, putting myself on a budget, setting goals, and guess what? Visiting those goals on a quarterly basis, not monthly basis, because then you find yourself beating yourself up and you're not going to do it. But if you really think about it on a quarterly, on a yearly basis, looking at it, and if you don't do that, then going back to the drawing board the beginning of the year before the new year comes in.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. So,
thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for calling.
Yes, thank you, caller.
Of course, thank you.
Bye-bye.
That voice sounds so familiar.
Okay, guys, we will be right back. We're going to commercial, and we'll be right back with the Dish on Reality.
Hey, you kicking it with the real Selena J from Barbershop 3, and I'm up in the building on the Dish on Reality with Trina and Tanya. What's up?
It's Aaron Cotterill, ATL's #1 bachelor. I'm here on the Dish on Reality with the beautiful Tanya and Trina.
All right, everyone, we are back with the Dish on Reality with
Tanya
and Trina, and our special guest, Miss Wanda Smith.
Hey, finance guru.
Yes.
So we actually just took a call, and we asked Wanda some questions. And Trina has a question for Wanda now.
Yes, like a lot of people want to know basically how to start saving, and like what age is good to really start saving, like how young and how early.
So I wish someone would have asked me that question. I have a 16-year-old.
Okay.
And so I am now in the process, me and his father is trying to help him understand about money and about saving.
Okay.
And so that means we missed it because we should have started this game about 9 years old or 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting him his savings account, but not getting it because he had a savings account, but really helping him understand how much money we actually spend on a daily, weekly basis when it comes to the things that you want.
Yes.
Because if we would have started that earlier, I think that he would now understand that my car takes so much money. My haircut takes this.
Yeah.
And because you've given me this budget and I got to figure out how I'm going to adapt to this $40 for a week knowing that my haircut is going to be $20, I think that he would be more in tune on saving. So when you ask me about saving, I think that that's something that starts very early. We have to, as parents, get our kids to save and taking them to the bank, opening up a savings account, and then letting them play with it to kind of say, okay, you say you want this toy today if they're 8 or 9 years old. That means we're not going to go back to the store tomorrow because we at the Walmart or we're at the Target. We're not going to go back the next day and buy another toy. You know, you only have $5 for the week, or you only have $5 for 2 weeks. How are you going to do it? So playing around with that. But as a teenager, as they go and they can go to the store and start putting things in a buggy, and they can go and start saying what they want, or I want to start ordering stuff online. They need to be saving, having their own account where they are budgeting it, and we have to stay firm to say this is going to be it.
We got another caller.
That's true. Okay, so we got another.
We got another caller coming in. You can press 1, Trina.
Voicemail, press 2.
Press 1. Okay, so we got another caller.
Hi, caller. You're on the Dish on Reality with Tanya and Trina.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm enjoying your show, Tanya and Trina, with your special guest, Wanda Smith.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Did you have a question for our guest?
I do. I wanted to ask, I heard Ms. Smith talk about finances and relationships. So as a lady who's married, would you say that you talked about budget, and would you say that I heard you just now speak of the finances and the budget. For example, you gave the example of about $40 of budget, and the haircut is $20. So is it safe to say that relationships and marriages are about compromising? If you're used to something, you know, if you go into a relationship and you're used to spending a certain way, then you have to have a sense of adaptability with your spouse or with your mate. Would you advise against that or on that?
Well, if I can understand the question, I think it's important. I want to just use, I guess, myself personally. Before I got married, I was out of control. And I think that when you come together as one, you really have to sit down and figure out what is going to be the bottom line dollar that you're going to spend individually and together as a household. So, and everybody may be different. Each situation may be different. Each month may be different. I know for me, in my household, the holidays are most expensive. So we really have to carve our spending, let's say, coming into the summertime, because we like to entertain. And we like to do a Christmas party. So that means that at the end of the day, September and October, we need to prepare. So it means that we need to sacrifice. So we're going to have to sacrifice together, and not just him sacrificing or me sacrificing, but us sacrificing because we know what we want to do. The great thing with us, because we really do have a really good relationship when it comes to communicating.
That's awesome.
And so at the end of the day, we know exactly what we're going to do. We know in October, we're going to Hilton Head. We know we're going to take a family trip in June. We know we're going to do a Christmas party in December. But all that costs money. All of it costs money. And at the end of the day, we ain't getting no extra money. And sometimes my husband had to wheel me back in and say, Wanda, we can't entertain. You know, when do you really want to entertain? Do you want to entertain on 4th of July? Or do you want to entertain Labor Day weekend? Because
you love to entertain.
I love to entertain. Birthday parties, you name it. Between my family, we doing it. But, you know, to keep it real, caller, at the end of the day, when you think about your spouses, you have to sit down and figure out what you're going to do. And only because you came into the relationship spending does not necessarily mean that you need to continue.
That's true.
Great answer. I like that.
I know.
Everybody in the studio like,
Now that's hard for me. That was hard for me in the beginning.
I'm sorry.
No, she said that was hard for her in the beginning. I think it's hard for most ladies in the beginning.
Yeah,
Woo.
it is.
Yeah, it's very hard. But my husband, he has to wheel me back in. Sometimes I don't like it. Sometimes I find myself hiding bags in the trunk of the car.
I think we've all done that. I'm guilty of hiding some shoes and clothes in the trunk. I'm guilty. You guilty, Trina?
No, I don't think I've ever done that.
There we go. See, that's the goody two shoes. But thank you so much for calling in, caller.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. You ladies have a nice evening.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Well, we want to thank Miss Wanda Smith so much for joining us today on the Dish on Reality with Tanya
and Trina.
Yay! Okay, guys. When we come back, we got a food guest. Somebody that has some great food for us. SheFood is here. She's going to come in and talk about her business. She has a catering business. And I can't wait to get some samples.
I know, right?
So I'm wondering, you going to stick around and get some samples?
I may stick around and get some samples.
Okay.
But I just want to say thank you. This was a lot of fun and I appreciate you guys.
Thank
this
you.
was great. And congratulations.
Oh, thank
Perfect.
you.
Now, Wanda, can you give out your email address for anybody that wanted to call that probably couldn't call in if they have any questions?
So that's Wanda1908white@gmail.com. Again, that's Wanda1908white@gmail.com.
Thank you, Wanda.
Thank you.
Hey. Okay, guys, we'll be right back with our next guest on the Dish on Reality with Tanya
and Trina. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Dish on Reality with
Tanya
and Trina. And we have Miss SheFood herself, Teracie Hardy.
Hi, thank you so much for coming in and bringing some good food.
Thank you for having me.
I know, I was eating the whole time doing breaks. So
She cheating.
I know, so half of my bowl is gone.
Okay, so can you please tell our listeners and our viewers what we're eating today?
It is a creamy seafood soup. It doesn't have a special name. It's crab meat, shrimp, and tilapia, garnished with steamed asparagus. And it also, just to add a filler to it, is cubed potatoes.
It's delicious.
It's very filling.
It is.
Wow.
See, I like when people, you know, because a lot of times when you go to restaurants and they give you seafood stuff, you got one shrimp.
That's exactly why.
Yeah, but you put enough in there, so I like that. And I can see the
really
crab
get
meat.
full, okay?
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Now, we met you, what month was it?
I think in May. At the,
No, it wasn't May. Was it May or April when we did the
April.
It was April when we
okay.
did the Hip Hop Magazine event, and that's where we met. And she made us some oxtails.
And it was asparagus and tomato salad.
Yes. And then it was a seafood dish too.
Yes, and the conch tail, which is conch salad, green conch salad.
It was so good.
It was.
Wow. So, okay, you have your own company.
Yes.
So tell us what motivated you to actually step out and, you know, decide to start your own business. Was it just your love for food or?
Homelessness.
Really?
It was circumstantial.
Wow.
It was kind of a now or never thing.
Wow.
Okay, so have you always loved to cook?
Actually, I was the kid that mom could not make. All I would do was cut up and snap green beans, but that's as far as I got. They always said that I would never be the
cook of the family.
Because I was the one that they couldn't keep in the kitchen. I just wanted to eat.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, how long have you had your company, SheFood? And I like that name, by the way.
Thank you. I started actually selling food out of my mom's apartment about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
And that was my first attempt. It was a success because I did make a couple sales, but of course it wasn't. I didn't become rich off of it, but it was a start.
That's awesome. I'm glad that, and I know even though you said it was circumstantial for you to start your business, that you did it. Because I always say, if not now, when? For entrepreneurs and people that are thinking about stepping out on faith. So I'm glad you make that move. And looking back on it, I'm sure that you're happy that you made that move.
I am. Because it's different.
Okay.
And it's something I can be proud of.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's mine. I've worked for other people a long time, but this is actually my baby. Like, I can say it's mine.
I love it.
I know.
That's so awesome.
Yes. So, as far as, I know you do the catering. Now, do you do any private chef things? Like, would you go to someone's home and do like a private dinner for them or anything?
Now, would I? Of course.
Okay.
Have I just yet? Not just yet. Right now, I'm still bartending. And remember, SheFood and it's SheFood and beverage.
That's
right. So I'm also a freelance bartender. So when I do get into private parties or events, it's usually with bartending.
Oh wow.
So any special? What's your specialty as far as drinks?
Do you remember at the event when we introduced the Bloody Mary shrimp cocktail?
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to taste it.
That's something that, for whatever reason, people love that and actually want that. I'm not sure. We created it, so we expected it to be a hit. But that seems to be everybody's favorite is that cocktail.
Now the Bloody Mary, what type of alcohol? Is there alcohol in it? It's like vodka. Okay, that's my favorite alcohol is vodka. Just in case y'all when you come by, you want to bring a gift
some
to the show.
vodka.
Vodka or wine?
Yeah, I can do wine. Yeah.
So okay, so you cater, right?
Yes.
Now, how big? Like, what's the biggest event you've catered, and what's the smallest you will cater?
Biggest, believe it or not, was Hip Hop. 124 guests.
Wow, it was a lot of people there. People were eating.
And that was my real first official catering gig, so that was pretty good for my first.
It was.
The smallest, I have 5 kids, and I'm a single mom, so 5.
Okay. Yeah.
My babies.
Yeah, you're catering every night, right?
Yes. Wow. No, that's really good stuff. I'm so glad that you stepped out and do it because you look pretty young.
Yeah.
And I think it's I'm floored every time I see a young entrepreneur really just stepping out. I always get inspired by that. And I think it's excellent for other young people to see that so they'll know that it's possible for them.
Yes.
So I really appreciate you coming in and sharing your talent with us.
I know.
And just as good food.
Yeah.
You got any to-go boxes in there?
It is leftovers if my kids don't eat it.
Oh, yeah. And the children don't eat it all. Okay, so let me ask you, how can we get in touch with you if people wanted you to cater an event or, use you for personal chef service? What's your social media?
My social media is SheFood in the morning. That is my Instagram tag.
Okay.
And you can call me at 470-272-0976. Keep it traditional.
Perfect. Yes, and I also, that's on the flyer as well. If you guys go on my Facebook page, Tanya Feast May is on there, and it's on the Dish on Reality with Tanya and Trina as well. And I know Trina posted to her page as well. So her information is on there, as well as Miss Wanda White Smith's information is on there as well. But we really appreciate you coming by and sharing with us.
Thank you.
One question: how do you come up with some of these recipes? Like with the recipe today, do they just come to you, or do you kind of like take from other people?
You actually just did it. I love soup, but I don't like that they don't make enough. They don't make soups filling enough. It's always more liquid than it is meat or vegetables or anything. If they give you a lot of anything, it's usually potatoes. So I love to give people what they don't expect.
Okay,
and I've learned that if you take the same things that you traditionally grew up eating and just add more girth, for some reason it just changes the whole thing. Just add more of the part that's good.
You know what? That's so interesting because growing up in the country, we ate roast every Sunday. Roast, ribs, or fried chicken. And my sister to this day don't really like roast because we ate it all the time.
But I cooked one today.
You did?
I did. It's been years, so I cooked one because I hadn't had one in so long. I was like, I'm cook a roast today, but I cook it a little different than what we had. You know.
Yes, and that's what I was gonna say. Even with the foods we grew up on, seasoning them differently gives it a whole nother flavor.
It does.
So it's like, okay, I really like this. Like I never thought I would like asparagus, spinach, like squash,
Brussels sprouts,
I eat all of that now the way that I like it and how I cook it now. You know, I'm not saying. I mean, I do cook better than my mama.
Oh God!
And they say if your kids eat it, you know you have something good.
Yes, that is so true.
Yeah, because kids are picky. Very picky eaters. So.
And they'll tell you, I don't like this. It's not good.
They will.
Wow. Well, thank you so much again for joining us. And we're going to come in green room because I definitely want to meet the little ones.
Yeah, the twins.
Yes. Okay, guys. Well, we'll be right back with our final words of today's show. We want to thank Miss Hardy. How do you say your first name again?
Teracie.
Teracie Hardy.
I'm glad you didn't try to say it again.
Of SheFood and Beverage. Thank her so much for coming by. And hopefully she'll come back by again and she'll bring some more food. Oh my God, I can't wait to eat this soup. Now, as soon as the producer says we're going to go to commercial, which we are right now, I may have a face full of soup by the time we come back.
Okay, guys, make sure you support her because she has great food. This is our second time actually tasting her food. It was good first time, great second time also. So make sure you all reach out to her if you have any events that you need catering. SheFood and Beverage.
And Beverage, absolutely. We'll be right back, guys, with the Dish on Reality. Thank you guys so much for coming back with us on the Dish on Reality with Tanya
and Trina.
Hey, you know, I wanted to bring something else up in the beginning of the show. Sierra got married.
Oh yeah, congratulations, Sierra and
congratulations,
Russell
CC and Russell Wilson.
Yes, I pray that everything works out for you guys. You seem like a really nice couple. They seem like a really nice couple.
I think so. And so, you know, they were celibate.
Yeah.
So they probably having a slamming honeymoon. You know what I mean? In my room, all like, here she go.
And I love the way too, you know, even though I did kind of disagree a little bit in the beginning, but it seems like he really embraced her son. So that's a great thing because he does need to have a relationship with her son since they are getting married, you know, but I think sometimes it was a little too public with their relationship. So
I think it was very public, but I think that was just to piss the baby daddy off.
Well, probably so.
Well, yeah, because you know that's always kind of touchy feely when you have children with somebody, you get in a relationship with somebody else. It can be sticky if you don't handle it in a mature way.
Yes,
like the Smiths, like Will and Jada and them.
Yeah. Now they're the way they step parent, whatever, they don't even say step parent. So you know, hey, they do have a great relationship with them.
And like the Harveys, I commend Steve and his wife as well, Marjorie, how they embrace each other's children and they don't say step parent or anything like that. So yeah, I embrace that as well.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, he actually adopted her children, gave them his last name Harvey. Yeah, so that's good stuff.
It is.
So guys, thank you so much for joining us on the show this week. It's been awesome.
And we have another great show next week. And make sure that you all go to our social media sites, the Dish on Reality for Instagram, Dish on Reality for Twitter, our website, thedishonreality.com, and also go to our YouTube channel, The Dish on Reality with Tanya and Trina. You can catch all of our old episodes. We upload them weekly. But
she uploaded weekly because y'all, I'm telling you, sometimes it's just a lot. And there may be a couple that are not on there yet, but we're working on it. You'll get to see them because normally our producer is very, very good about getting them to us within 24 hours.
Yes,
he's over there shaking his head like, yes, I am. so much for joining us this week. We'll see you next week. We got some great guests. We always do have great guests.
We do.
We're so blessed.
And also, I got to do a drop for one of our advertisers, Mr. Eric Green with Good News Barbershop, located at 9527 South Main Street in Jonesboro. He is a great barber. We've been knowing him for years. He does great work. Great customer service, great everything. So make sure you guys stop by and check him out. And he's also looking for licensed barbers. If you are licensed and looking for a place to set up, check him out.
Don't just show with some clippers saying you want to cut hair and you don't have a license. And what's that? His address again? I need to play that number on Cash Flow.
See, 9527 South Main Street in Jonesboro, Georgia. So, Good News Barbershop, Mr. Eric Green.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. The Dish on Reality with Tanya
and Trina.
Bye.
Bye. This music, R&B, hip hop, pop.
I still can't judge.
Reggae, EDM, indie, old school,
side. Check it.
And sports talk.
Right here.
WorldStarHitRadio.com.